Hello guys and welcome back to Bulgaria, here as the manager of Beroe in the Bulgarian First League. Halfway through our second season here as the manager of Beroe. Things are going fantastically well. We'll have a run through that in a minute. There's a couple of new signings to talk about. Obviously financially we're doing really as well. We have qualified for the next stage of the Europa League, which is fantastic. We've got FC Porto in that though, which is a little bit of a shame, but we are in there. Financially, like I say, the club is doing very well. 4.1 million in the bank. We are over the wage budget. I've actually used a feature in Football Manager which I've seen before. It's never ever worked for me before, and that is when I've gone to sign some players. I've interacted with the board, pleaded my case, and they've gone and signed them for me. It's happened twice in the January transfer window with Beroe. And in terms of those signings, there's actually 3 in total who have come in. De Almeida, we managed to extend his loan, so he is still here. But the first one I signed was a free transfer. It was Ayanda Davids, a 26-year-old South African. Now, he is naturally an attacking midfielder, but he can play up front as an advanced forward. He's quite good at that as well. Although, with one of the new arrivals, he has actually become a little bit of a fringe player, but he's got some great physicals. His mentals are pretty good as well. Technical's not too bad. His finishing could be a little bit better. But he scored 2 goals in the 4 starts that he's made for us so far. Next one in, this is one of the ones that I got the board to do for me. It's Nemanja Lukic. He is a Serbian. He is now the new starting striker at the club. He is very good in terms of his attributes. He's not quite hit the goal scoring form that we need yet, but we are sort of lacking a goal scorer in this squad. But again, he's got great physicals, great mentals, and his technicals for an advanced forward are absolutely amazing for this club, for this division. Leading player for most first league sides in Bulgaria as well. And then the next one in is Mihai Dumitrascu, another one that I got the board to do. He's coming from CF Cluj in Romania. He is a inside forward on the left hand side. Again, very good in that position. Physicals are absolutely crazy. Mentals are great. He's got loads of determination. Again, finishing a little bit of a letdown, but if we compare him to Sonchev, who, by the way, has actually won Young Player of the Year in Bulgaria, but he's just, you know, he's much better. He's better going forward. He's better technically. He's better in the air. So quite pleased to have Dumitrascu here. Again, he's not quite hit the ground running yet. Poor performance in Europe against Porto, which is pretty much understandable. But you know, things have gone very well. Now we're actually back today for a game that I wasn't planning on doing. I was actually planning on taking on second place in the table, but the game has been postponed, unfortunately. Now, last time you were here was the 3-1 win over Pirin Blagoevgrad. Very nice win in the last episode. We then took on Botev Vrasta, another team down near the bottom. It was Valery Penchev and Borislav Mikov with the goals for us. We did leave it a little bit late, but we had 30 shots in total to their 2. So, you know, 14 of them on target. Their goalkeepers obviously had an absolute worldie. We played well ourselves. De Almeida a little bit disappointing though, which is, you know, the thing that we've got in terms of goal scorers. He has now hit 14 in all competitions for us, but it's not what we're used to. We're used to having somebody who bangs 40 a season in for us. So a little bit disappointed going forward. Pushkas Academy in Europe was a 0-0 draw. Chernomore in the league, in the cup, I beg your pardon, in the cup. We did rotate the squad a little bit for this one. Beroe won 4-1 against Chernomore. Spazov, Toms, Ambuya and Lubilov with the goals, all of them in the first half. Again, another dominant performance. Quite pleased with that. League-wise, it was Litex, Georgi Histrov with the goals. He is a left-sided, come through a youth academy at the club type of player. He's not really first-team quality, but again, rotating the squad, we have a lot of football in a short space of time here with Europe going on and stuff like that. But he got a double. David's got 1. Tom's missed a penalty, but again, it was another fantastic, dominant performance. Shakhtar were next up in Europe, a 1-1 draw in this one. Shevchenko and Hristov with the goals. Probably an even game, if we're being honest. But it was Chernomore next up in the league, and once again, we've put 4 past them. De Almeida, Davids, Silva and Josephs this time we did score the penalty against them. Again, we've absolutely battered them. So that's 8 goals against Cherno in the space of 2 games. Montana were next. Again, it's a lot of teams down near the bottom of the table. We've missed a penalty again, but De Almeida and Toms did bag the goals. We've just conceded the one shot on target. Another fantastic performance by Beroe. We then sort of hit a little bit of a patch where we started conceding a lot of goals, started a little bit of poor form. We conceded 5 against Arsenal, all of them in the first half. I believe it was, we went 1-0 up, believe it or not, through Amboya. Arsenal then made it 5-1 before we had 2 replies in the second half to make it 5-3. But Arsenal have, in fact, finished top of the Europa League group phase out of the 36 teams that are in it. Spazov had a poor game in this one. But I was quite pleased to score 3 past Arsenal. It's quite encouraging. In terms of how at the Europa League phase, when Arsenal did indeed finish top, Ludogorets, believe it or not, finished second. We managed to finish down in 13th place after a result against Midtjylland. We won all with Malmo, and we also beat Midtjylland 1-0. So we did qualify, and like I say, we've taken on Porto. CSKA 1948 were next up in the league, a 2-0 win away from home in this one. Mikov and Grumalen with the goals. Again, another good performance. Maybe going forward, not so good, but Grumalen picked up the Man of the Match award there. We then suffered our second league defeat of the season, and it was to Ludogorets, unfortunately. And Amboya was sent off in the 87th minute, but Milanov had already done the damage, 1-0 in that one. We've had shots, but highlight-wise, it never looked like we were going to get into the game. We were never going to score, so disappointing to lose that 1-0. We were on a nice little unbeaten streak there. I think it was actually 8 games won in a row in the league before that happened, unfortunately. But we did bounce back against CSKA Sofia. Miguel Silva from centre-back got both the goals in this one. Dinev put CSKA ahead in the 8th minute through a penalty. They probably deserved to win it, but they didn't. We did. Hristov had a shocker on the left-hand side. Hristev on the right-hand side also didn't play too well. Neither did De Almeida. You can see just how tired some of the players are starting to get with a lot of football that we're playing. We then had the winter break, which was a nice welcome thing with a nice rest the players for almost a month, which is fantastic. We did come back and lose to Sporting though. Grumalen got the goal for us in this one, but league-wise it was a draw against Levski. Toms and Petrov with the goals. We should have won, really should have won. But this is the kind of form that we're in the league at the minute. We've lost 1, drawn 1. We drew the next one in the league as well, 0-0 against Slavia Sofia. We didn't let them have any shots on target. Again, we should have won, but again, going forward, we weren't great. And then most recently, I've taken on Porto in the Europa League playoff, the second round of it, and we were comfortably beaten 3-1. Lukic got one back for us late on. I just realised I've missed out Lokomotiv Sofia there, so we have actually won our last game in the league. Lukic and De Almeida with the goals. De Almeida's sort of moved out onto the right-hand side to accommodate Lukic. Dumitrascu's coming on the left-hand side. They're still bedding into the squad. So today we are back for the game against our fierce rivals in Botev Plodiv. Now, we've seen us take these on before. I think we actually were beaten by them the last time we took them on. They've also beaten us this season in the league as well, so a little bit of revenge, hopefully. But as far as the league is concerned, we are at the top of the table with 4 points clear of CSKA Sofia with the game in hand, so we can go 7 points clear despite dropping a few points in the last few games. Ludogorets have managed to move themselves up into 3rd place. Not too long ago, they were down in about 7th or 8th, so they've had a really, really bad season. But in terms of goal scoring, I know I'm complaining about the fact we haven't scored enough goals, but we are the leading scorers in the league with 41. We've also got the joint best defence in the league, along with the team who were in second, which was Lokomotiv Plodiv, the team who we were supposed to be facing today. But game was postponed due to a waterlogged pitch, so we're back for Botev Plodiv, and hopefully we can beat our rivals, restore our 7-point lead at the top. We're almost there in Bulgaria. We're almost there to knocking it off. Line-up wise for today, though, it's going to be Kupanov continuing in goal. He's had a very good season. 18 conceded in Europe is a little bit of a letdown, but 30 and 37 across all competitions is fantastic. Spazov continues as the right fullback, improving marginally. He's had a good season in Bulgaria as well with 4 assists. Grumalen and Gay continue at centre-half. Grumalen, for his age, has been a fantastic signing in Bulgaria. He's got 3 goals now, 5 in all competitions. I expect double figures from him, though, with that jumping reach and that head, and he should be hitting double figures. Gay, the man on loan from Ferencváros, has also had a very good season. 4 goals for him from centre-half. And Buya, Another one who's had a great season. In the Cup, he's been fantastic, but league-wise, a 7.2 across 16 games is very, very good. Grablev in the midfield today. Again, his position doesn't really lend itself to good match ratings, but he does his job, you know. Lubanov is actually injured today as well, which is why he's not in the starting lineup. He is just come back from injury. He was supposed to be injured for the Lokomotiv Plovdiv game, which is sort of throwing me off a little bit because he's actually back from his injury now. But Basanov and Toms are the other two midfielders. Dumitrascu comes in on the left-hand side, De Almeida on the right-hand side, and then the man who I'm expecting to grab us a load of goals, Nemanja Lukic, starts up at top. So hopefully we can beat our rivals and restore that 7 points at the top of the table. I want to leave Bulgaria now. I want to leave. I need to get these nations knocked off as quick as possible. This is year 2, which is, you know, it's still okay, but I'd like to get us up to Sweden because I think Sweden's going to be quite difficult. I think the Scandinavian leagues do have some quite strict league rules in terms of homegrown players and whatnot, and obviously there is some big teams up in Sweden as well. Well, that was a quiet first half. I had to double check halfway, like towards the end of the first half there, whether I've still got the highlights turned on. I have. We haven't had any. We've had 6 shots, none of which have hit the target. They've hit the target twice, but we are the better team. We are creating more chances. Well, I say we're creating more chances. We're not really, are we? But we have had more of the ball. We've had more corners. We've also committed more fouls, which, you know, is by the by for us. But it would be nice to go and grab a goal against Botiv. At least have some highlights for the video. That would be great. Come on, boys. Right, and finally, in the 58th minute, we get our first highlight of the game. Unfortunately, it is Botiv with the ball, and they're coming forward. Lukic has been done there. Nikolov finds Katanek. He's got Kirev outside of him, can advance down this right-hand side. Ambuya does go well to get back. He can't block the cross, though. It's a deep one towards Todorov, who's headed it just wide of the upright. Thankfully for us, it would be nice if we could get something for ourselves going forward. We've now had 9 shots and not hit the target yet, which is... It's going to let us down this season. I can see it. But Lukic now with the corner in the 68th minute for Beroe towards that near post. Spazov gets his head on it. And it's 1-0 to Beroe. Our first effort on target in the game. And we've scored from it. And it's from a corner again. The corners are so overpowered in Football Manager. Particularly if you've got a big man at that near post. Although that's not who we've aimed for there. We've not gone for Grumalen. But 1-0, and I've just noticed there that no, Lokomotiv Plovdiv have gone 3-2 up. Ludogorets are 4-0 up away to Litex. So I think as things stand, it is going to be 6 points clear at the top. We do still have that game in hand over Ludogorets, though. Lokomotiv themselves also have a game in hand. But we're winding it down towards the end of this game. It has been a very, very quiet game, unfortunately. We've had 2 highlights all game. 2 highlights all game, and we've scored from one of them. XG-wise, we were better, but you know, Botiv have had more shots on target. We need to get those front 3 of ours firing, particularly Lukic. But I couldn't believe it when the interact with the board thing worked. I was expecting to interact with them and they'd just free up some funds for me, and I'd have to do it myself. But no, they've done the whole thing. They've negotiated the transfer, they negotiated the contract. It was fantastic, and it's the first time it's ever worked for me. We did deserve to win that game. We really did deserve to win that game. We're now on a 5-match unbeaten streak in the league, which is fantastic. And we are 6 points clear at the top with a game in hand. Hopefully Lokomotiv lose their game. But it's been a fantastic season here in Bulgaria. We're not too far away from the end now. We've got 9 more games to play before the league splits, and then we get the last 5 games of the season in the Champions group, where hopefully we're far enough ahead where it's not going to make too much of a difference to us, particularly coming up against the likes of Ludogorets. But guys, thank you very much again for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure as always, and we're having a fantastic season in Bulgaria. Long may it continue, so we can get ourselves over to Sweden as soon as possible. But guys, thank you very much. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up button for me. As you know, it does help me out massively, and I really do appreciate it. Comments as well. Let me know how you think the series is going. But I'll see you all next time, guys. So take it easy I'll catch you next time.